So get this, the music magazine Revolver just put Slaughter to Prevail on the cover, and it caused a whole bunch of drama, naturally, because this guy is a controversial figure. They label him as a lightning rod, but the people on Twitter have much harsher words for him. Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan Frampton. Thank you so much for kicking back with me here today. There's a little bit of drama that we got to discuss. Before we do, though, has a bet you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's pull up Twitter.com, of course, where it all goes down. And here it is, the cover itself. Slaughter to Prevail, wearing their little masks, okay? And of course, it's their frontman, Alex Terrible, that gets all the heat. And here we go. Let's just read the tweet right now. Love him or hate him, Alex Terrible has made Slaughter to Prevail one of the most talked about bands in metal. Get to know the complicated man behind the Kid of Darkness mask. What? That is crazy. This guy has said a couple hateful things in the past. This guy has said a couple transphobic things in the past. But this guy mostly has a tattoo of a symbol that is most commonly associated with the Third Reich. He seems to be a pretty big fan of that Austrian painter. Here's a picture of his elbow with that tattoo on it and a couple other images and things that he said. You can pause it here if you want to read this. I'm not going to get into all this right now. Here it is. It's the Black Sun. This guy has the Black Sun on his elbow, and yeah, he knows what it is. He knows what this symbol represents, and he still has it on his elbow. He went into a place and asked them to put this symbol that means this on his elbow. He did that. That's a decision that he made, and he's choosing to not feel regretful about it. And as you can imagine, people cannot fathom the fact that Revolver is promoting a guy that is a big fan of that Austrian painter. But it also looks like Rockfeed down here is a pretty big fan of a guy who's a big fan of that Austrian painter. And he got a lot of heat for that as well, but he has connections, and he interviewed Alex Terrible. He was like, all right, there's a bunch of heat going down right now. Let's jump onto my YouTube channel and have a little bit of a discussion. Now, when he comes on, he starts to go over this story, which you can read in many interviews that he's done. Alex Terrible has his own YouTube channel where he recounts this as well. Apparently, he had demons. He was battling drugs. He got so messed up, so bad, that he was like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. And then he got himself clean. And it was when he got himself clean, he wanted to find a group of people to fit into. And that group of people were these far-right Austrian painter enthusiasts. And he goes on to say, to impress these Austrian painter enthusiasts, he got the Black Sun tattooed on his elbow, just to show how much he appreciated that one very infamous Austrian painter. But let's just react to a couple minutes here of this interview, because Rockfeed himself, he is a little bit of a bootlicker, okay? He is trying to meat ride this guy pretty hard, and it's pretty sad to see. And not to mention, the guy has almost 1 million subscribers and has only pulled 35,000 views on this thing. He just revamped his whole studio. If he just used that money for a thumbnail guy and a title guy, these views would be way higher. And there you go. There's a free piece of advice for you from a much smaller channel. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for Alex Terrible. All right, he's going to tell us about the time where he realized he was stupid.
Up like 25, 26, I realized that I was stupid actually, you know, because I understand why people react on me on this way, you know, because I have the Black Sun tattoo on my elbow, you know. It's not a symbol, you know what I mean?
Okay, so he says he knows why people are reacting this way because it is the symbol that he recognizes to be that symbol, and he's laughing the whole way through it. Not a great look. None of these guys must have PR people because they just like jumped on and did this like reactionary style. If you are blowing up the way that Slaughter to Prevail is blowing up, and if you're Rockfeed that almost have 1 million subscribers, you need to handle these things with a little bit more care. But I know you just saw this thing go down on Twitter, made made a quick DM and then just jumped on right here for this guy to spout this kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. It is such a bad look.
And right now, I'm looking the past, and I was like, damn, I was stupid.
Is there some sort of a secret agenda you're pushing?
Okay, before we get into Alex Terrible's response to that terrible question, I just got to mention the frame rate that's being dropped right here is amateur hour on his behalf, not my behalf. And I can tell you exactly why this is happening. It's because the frame rate of the interview that he's doing here with Alex Terrible is a different frame rate than his video, and then he rendered it at a different frame rate, and it's coming out all choppy. And the only reason why I know is because I made this mistake 100 million times. But let's get this answer. Alex Terrible, we're waiting.
Of course, I just hate everybody. I'm joking.
That is not a very good response when you're getting thrown these allegations. I think if anybody was calling me a fan of this Austrian painter, I wouldn't come on just yucking about it like this. What an awful look.
I'm not gonna prove something for everybody because it doesn't make any sense. You cannot prove for everybody like, hey, I'm not Nazi. I love everyone. I'm not gonna do that shit, you know?
That is not what it is. You don't need to be like, I love everybody. That is not gonna be the thing that makes people realize that you're not a fan of that Austrian painter. All you gotta do is genuinely not be a fan of that Austrian painter and then have your behaviors dictate the rest. So then he goes on about the fact that he can't be hateful because he's introverted. There's people all around him all the time. How can he be hateful? How can he be a big fan of this Austrian painter when he is in rooms with a bunch of different kinds of people all the time? Awful arguments, but this is the next question that we really need to hear.
It sounds like you got this tattoo at a time where you were strung out on drugs.
Okay, so Rockfeed just gets it completely wrong. It's like, you got this tattoo when you were strung out on drugs, right? This would make it kind of like a story that you could tell. You know, yeah, I was down, I was out, I was making some bad decisions, I got this tattoo. But do you think that's the response that Alex Terrible gives? Nah, let's listen.
It was after. So I almost died because of the drugs, and then I tried to find someone or something just to, you know, like... in the past, I was wasting my time with the parties and drugs and all this shit. And right, like after that, I go radical way to gym, to, you know, like fights and all this shit.
He was like, no more of this partying lifestyle. No. I'm going to go to the gym and live this alpha male, big fan of that Austrian painter type life.
And I fought myself with the fucking right wings guys and stuff like that, you know?
And then he finds himself with the right-wing guys and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, I think we know, Alex Terrible. And he's talking about it like it was like 50 years ago, all right? He was like in his early 20s and he's just 30 now. It wasn't that long ago that you made these decisions, and you haven't really shown us that you're not that person anymore. If you want to watch the rest of that interview for whatever reason, go over to Rockfeed and watch it, but it's just him just like puckering up and just riding a whole bunch of meat. So I can't say with any certainty who Alex Terrible rolls around with, all right? I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt what he believes in his heart and in his soul. But his behaviors and the way he handles it is not a very good look. And it all leads me to think I can understand why people call him a fan of that Austrian painter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think of this Revolver Alex Terrible drama down below. If you enjoyed this video, watch this video. All right, see you later.